Hello, folks. My name is Wicked Wonka, but you already know that. And I'm here to talk about the shootings that happened yesterday in Las Vegas. A man that goes by the name Stephen Paddock, I guess, went up to the rooftops of the Mandalay Bay Hotel and started firing at concert goer, con- concert goers at the Route 91 Harvest Festival, which is a country festival. So basically, the 2017 Harvest Festival was ruined because of that. And of course, the police decided to search this guy and found him dead in his hotel room, which is kind of misfortunate because they'll try to get, if they get him alive, well, if they get him alive, they might even ask him what's his motive. Now, I have read two articles about this situation. One is the Washington Post article, while the other is the LA Times article where Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom decided to push their political agenda on the idea of banning silencer. I also watched a couple of videos, I think three of them. One made by Sticks, Hex, and Hammer 666. One made by Paul Joseph Watson, and the other made by Stefan Molyneux. Now, out of these three videos, I have found that Stefan Molyneux talks about that this guy's father was a bank robber or something he was wanted for. Plus, his father escaped while he was young, making him I guess, one of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in this country. And Stefan Molyneux goes through his childhood, childhood. He goes through his childhood experiences and claimed that his childhood was so shitty that it caused him to become like this. Basically, growing up without a father in his household, which it is agreeable, because anyone with that traumatic childhood will go crazy and shit. A good childhood pretty much determines how good a person might become. Because, you see children these days having shitty childhood with no father figure, and they grow up to be maladjusted people. If you want to know more about this stuff, go watch Stefan Molyneux's video, which I'll have it on the link, which is on the description. But one thing is this, is if you go to Twitter about this situation where the shooting happened, a lot of people are using this to, well, if you go to Twitter, you can see how despicable people are on there. They're using this tragedy, this human tragedy, to promote their political agenda. Basically, they're politicizing it, asking for gun control, including Senator Harris and Gavin Newsom. These two chuckleheads we have in office. And don't get me started with Hillary trying to politicize it. Yeah, we need more gun control. some of these people were hoping that he was a white supremacist, while others were hoping that he was a left-wing, I guess, a left-wing extremist. Now, technically, if someone goes shoot up a country concert, a country music festival, and they have a political agenda or motive, I say, they're they're probably mostly left-leaning, if you know what I mean. But this doesn't help the fact that 50 people lost their lives and probably more people died, not just by the shooting, but by the trampling. That's one thing about these people that are trying to commit acts of terrorism, is that they know even if they shoot people, they probably know that other half of the fatalities will be a result of other folks getting trampled to death by fleeing fleeing concert goers, because that that claims more lives than the gunman ever does, Just telling you. With all these emails, you got to know what's going on. And of course, Kamala Harris, who's our good-for-nothing senator, and our lieutenant governor, Gavin Newsom, as well as Hillary Rotten Clinton, decided to politicize this. Now, Hillary said we should not politicize this, and she ends up politicizing this tragedy. All of them are promoting the idea of banning silencers. What's that gonna do? The weapon he was using would destroy the silencer on the count that, well, it's more of a suppressor than a silencer because it doesn't make the gun silent. It just suppresses the noise. Now, most people would buy what I'm trying to say is, if most people most people that own guns that buy silencers are hunters that are trying to save their hearing because a gunshot is really loud. That's why you see people at a shooting range wearing earmuffs to muffle the sound to make it less noisy, And they think that people will buy these suppressors and hope that they won't hear where the gunshots are going, for malice reasons. But you have to remember that these shooters, they're just going to shoot people regardless, because they know they're going to get arrested, and they know that, or they're just going to commit suicide, just so they don't get caught or something. And it's not going to matter. Same thing with a gangster or something. Like you go around on South Vermont Avenue in LA. If they get a hold of a suppressor, they're just going to do it to wax another gangster. If they get an automatic weapon, they're going to try to massacre an entire crew, because the fact that they don't care if they go to jail or not. That's pretty much what these criminals, they don't care if they're going to end up dead, jail, or whatever. It's because if they have a malice intent to massacre at least 10,000 people, they're going to do it. And banning suppressors is not going to do anything. We got all the gun control laws in the state of California, and it has done nothing to stop people killing each other. It didn't do anything to stop some random dude going into a community center in San Bernardino and started massacring everybody with his machine gun. It didn't. And of course, it's hard to get a fully automatic rifle. It's hard to get a fully automatic weapon these days because everything is so overregulated. But he managed to get his hands on it and managed to do what he wants to do. Now, of course, these left-wing people, these gun grabbers, will say, even if there's law-abiding citizens with guns, they still wouldn't have the chance to take them down. Well, no shit. Sometimes the bad guys will win. But if more good guys have guns, then it can make it harder for bad people to go crazy or shoot somebody because of that shit. Take, for instance, the idea of confiscating everybody's weapons. Do you think anyone smart enough in the military will support this? Hell no. Because they know that a typical citizen could fuck up their fuel supplies. Everything, the American war machine is dependent on diesel. And anyone with a small arm can go into a fuel dump, and destroy the fuel supply there. In fact, back in World War II, the Japanese thought of establishing a beachhead in the continental U.S. Back in World War II, the Japanese decided against establishing a beachhead and trying to invade the continental U.S. on the account that there's a lot of people that are armed that will give them a hard time, and they wouldn't even advance further from the beachhead they established. Whether it's up in the Pacific Northwest, California, or Alaska. They only managed to land on one of the two. They only managed to land on one of the two Aleutian island chains because these islands were uninhabited most of the time. Even nowadays, it's still probably uninhabited. But that's pretty much what happened. And the idea of banning silencers or any automatic weapon isn't gonna solve the fucking problem. You people are stupid. I live in California. We got all the gun violence there. Every single fucking gun control law that's been enacted throughout its history. And it has never stopped gun violence. You're never going to stop gun violence. And it's not going to help the fact that these people are dead. People started talking about gun control when this happened. Before rigor mortis set in these bodies, These bodies are still warm. The blood hasn't dried on the pavement. And you don't see any rigor mortis or any of the bodies starting to become waxy and shit, because it's just how it is nowadays with social media. Everybody has to grandstand. Any last words or any last statement? Well, yesterday, Tom Petty had a massive heart attack Now, people thought he died, but he was in a coma. He was incapacitated. But unfortunately, today they couldn't save him, so he died in the hospital from the result of having a heart attack. He was 66 years old. Like, that's pretty much kind of like he's, well, which is kind of sad because, that's like 1 year from the age of retirement. But then again, most of these rock and roll stars did drugs and stuff. But anyways, Tom Petty died at age 66 from a massive heart attack he had yesterday, and well, there's nothing we can do about it but mourn his death. He made really good heartland rock music, which I think those type of music's way better than whatever they play on the fucking radio, to tell you the truth. Oh yes, if you want to hear more about me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on VidMe. Also, you can follow me on Twitter or Gab and Minds.com. So I'm Wicked Wonka, signing out.